Breaking news coming in right now. We're going to be shifting focus to that. Now, India has invited Pakistan and China along with other nations for the next round of SCO foreign ministers meet. Remember, SCO stands for the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Now, this meeting is due in Goa in May, and this is what government sources have told CNN News 18. Now, meanwhile, sources in Pakistan have confirmed that Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari has received the invitation, though Islamabad is yet to take a call on attending it. An invitation has also been sent out to China's new foreign minister, Qin Gang. Now, remember, this SCO meeting, the foreign ministers meeting, is going to be taking place in Goa in May. The development is that both China and Pakistan have been invited along with other nations to attend. What we do know, as per sources, what government sources are telling CNN News 18, is that while these invitations have been sent out, right now there is no response. To get an understanding of the significance of this, we will be connecting shortly with a reporter, also to tell us more significance about the fact that Pakistan and China have been invited to this. Considering that this is taking place in May, though, it might not be necessary for the two nations to respond on a priority basis. There might be a little bit of leeway when it comes to how much time the nations have to respond to this invitation. Right now, the status is that the invitations have been sent out, but again, no response has been received by the representatives of either China or Pakistan yet. Now remember, this has to do with the SCO foreign ministers meeting that's going to be taking place in Goa in May. And this is the next round of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization for the foreign ministers meeting, which is again due in Goa in May. To get us more details, we're crossing over to CNN News 18's foreign affairs correspondent Abhishek Jha. Abhishek, can you tell us more about the significance of the fact? Is this a surprise that we've sent out invitations to China and Pakistan? Isn't this a given that that'll happen?
So see, it's just a part of process. India is the host country for Shanghai Cooperation Organization's this year's meeting, and in that context, India has an obligation to invite all the members, and in Pakistan and China are also part of that SCO grouping. So in that context, these invites have been sent to not only Pakistan's Prime Minister Bilawal Bhutto, but Chinese Foreign Minister Qin also, and four Central Asian countries also have been extended this invitation. Iranian Foreign Minister has also been extended this invitation because Iran has become part of SCO grouping last year in Samarkand SCO meeting. Not only this, India is also going to organize this chief jurist meeting of SCO countries, and for that also Pakistan's Chief Justice have been invited. That meeting will be happening in the month of March in Delhi.
Now, what we're given to understand is that neither Pakistan nor China have responded yet. Is there a deadline by which they need to respond? Because this meeting is going to be happening in May.
So we cannot say that there is a deadline because they will have to respond, and then only they will be taking part. They are part of the grouping, and they have a right to participate in all the meetings that is going to take place. The sending an invitation is just a formality by the host country and a courtesy invitation because they have equal rights in the grouping. And in that context, we know that India and China and India and Pakistan, they have not been in a very good terms of relationship, bilateral relationship, if we can say, especially in terms of security relationship in the last few months. But still, being part of SCO grouping, they will have to be invited, and they will be most likely visiting also in India if it happens in India. The SCO groupings have already, the SCO in past has also explained that it's not a bilateral platform, and they try to discuss and deliberate on the issues of regional importance and the issue of multilateral common interest. And in that context, this meeting will happen in Goa in the first week of May. That is most likely from 4th and 5th May, and where India, Pakistan, China, Central Asian countries, Iran, and other inviting members countries, foreign ministers can also come, and they can deliberate about the global, regional issues of security challenges, issues of diplomatic challenges, and all.
Now, Abhishek, beyond this, do we have any indications of whether China and Pakistan are going to, again, attend for sure? Do we have any details on that?
To just give you a little perspective, recently we had G20 meeting where President Putin was also invited from Indonesian side because Indonesia was the host country. And until the very last moment, until the few days before the meeting actually started, we were not sure whether Putin was going to attend the meeting or not. In the last few days, it was decided that Foreign Minister Lavrov will be representing President Putin of Russia in G20's meeting. So these are the decisions that can stretch till the last days of SCO meetings. Whether Pakistan Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif will attend the SCO meeting in India, that will also remain a question. Whether Chinese President Xi Jinping will come for SCO meeting, that also remains a big question. But being part of that grouping, they have a right, and India has an obligation to invite all of them to attend these meetings. But to stay with
All right,
all
Abhishek, do
conformity
stay
that
with us. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to interrupt you. We're being joined by Mr. Sushant Sareen on the line to bring us his perspective as well. Mr. Sareen, thank you so much for speaking to CNN News 18. The breaking development essentially is that India has invited both Pakistan and China for the SCO Foreign Ministers meet, which is going to be taking place in May in Goa. What is your perspective on the fact that we've sent out these invitations?
Look, I won't read too much into sending these invitations since we are holding the presidency of the SCO. It is, I think, as the correspondent very correctly said, it is an obligation to invite all member countries. So I think it is under that that the invitation has been extended to Pakistan and to China. Now, for example, when we hold the G20 summit, I would be extremely surprised if we were going to invite Pakistan for that, because Pakistan is not a member and we are not obligated to invite them. But we would still invite the Chinese president for that, because China is a member of the G20. So I won't read too much into this. What would, however, be something that I would look out for is whether the Pakistani foreign minister comes, at what level. Is it the foreign minister, is it a junior foreign minister? And when the summit is finally held, at what level Pakistan is represented? Is it at the foreign minister level, or is it at the prime minister or presidential level?
I mean,
again,
Sorry, do continue.
Yeah, please. Yeah, I was saying that that will also depend upon what the conditions in Pakistan are. Maybe we will have a general coming over by the time the SCO summit is on.
So this is essentially going to be on the level of a foreign ministers meet, because essentially that is what's going to be taking place, the SCO foreign ministers meet in Goa in May. But considering the situation in Pakistan, they have so many economic issues, diplomatic issues, other issues which are going, and political issues, of course, which are taking place in Pakistan. And beyond this, also considering the troublesome relationship that India shares with Pakistan, is there then a higher chance that Pakistan will reject this invitation?
No, I don't think they really have an option of rejecting, unless, of course, they want to be out of the SCO and don't want to be part of the deliberations. They will be represented. The question is at what level? Will they be represented at the foreign secretary's level, for example? Will they be represented by their local mission? The deputy chief of mission in Delhi, for example, goes to Goa to represent Pakistan. We don't know. Or will they be represented at the foreign minister or the junior foreign minister's level? I think, at what level they send their representation will be more of a signal rather than are extending the invitation to them. That is one point. The second point is, and you're very correct, that Pakistan is going through a lot of turmoil. This is why maybe this particular meeting we might not see it, but like I said, in all seriousness, by the time the summit comes, we might actually have invited the General Asim Munir rather than the Shahbaz Sharif.
Now, beyond this, I also wanted to ask you for your opinion on the invitation that we've sent to China, because recently what has been said in the past, considering that China released their technical hold on designating Abdul Rahman Maki as a global terrorist, the UNSC was finally able to do it because China released that technical hold. What that move was seen as was a step towards bettering ties with India. Do you agree with that sentiment?
No, I don't. I think the Chinese are left with very little option. They were losing face, and for the Chinese, after some time, it becomes difficult to hold the burden or keep pulling the burden of Pakistan. So I think it was under those circumstances that they lifted the hold on Maki. But otherwise,